Hello and welcome along to another episode and another new season from this FM22 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's season 3, it's part 15, and today should be a joyous occasion. We're making our debut in Europe at home, well, at the racecourse ground, as we found out with Bangor City last year. Cefn Druids, absolutely no different. We faced Drita, aside from Kosovo, and we'll get to that in a moment. But what has the last few episodes been? In the comments, in my talk, even in the evidence, it has been praise for Ben Williams. All the great work a director of football has done. Was he going to ruin Pat Nevin's legacy on the channel? Was he going to become the best first director of football we've ever had? And then when it comes to the biggest occasion here, he has bottled it. We are left with basically a bare carcass of a squad today. And for a game that I genuinely think we could have won with a first squad, it's now going to be very close because our first 11 is still pretty decent, but we have nothing in terms of squad depth. So if you're looking forward to finding out how the summer's gone so far, a lot of late work certainly needed, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. We stay on the beta schedule for the rest of this week, so 3:30 for the head coach, 11:30 for Hemel, and then daily episodes at 3:30 next week, rotating between the two. You can catch up with anything you've missed in the eye above, where there's also a link to the Twitch channel. There's regular streams up there, including tonight with the Europa League watch-along, and tomorrow with a big double-header, an FM stream directly followed by an FA Cup special. I love the competition, you're going to see lots of it over there. So come and join what should be the fun over there, but here, fun is certainly not the right word. There is nowhere else to start than transfer news, because in my opinion, given what we were going into, the squad needed beefing. And what's happened is, in my opinion, an unmitigated disaster. Let's go and have a look at the released players, the sold players, and I was going to say the signings, but the lack of. So, released players. I think you will already see why I'm slightly annoyed. Cody Roberto was on £35 a week. Was it really that much of an arse to keep him for another year? Pavel Vieira, no new deal. Starting centre midfielder till the end of last year. But yet he offered Jelani Bio a massive new contract, despite me doing everything in my power to show I didn't want him. I said in the media he's unlikely to sign one. I tried to make him unhappy so he would want to leave and not sign a new deal. And he's got a bumper pay rise, a player that was on the bench last year. And possibly most importantly in the circumstances, Adrian Cieslewicz has left the club. And despite the director of football trying with 2 players so far and a third where there's an offer in now, we have not had a replacement on the right wing. So that little youth intake player we saw, Ian Reese I think his name was in the last episode, is starting a Europa Conference Qualifier. It's embarrassing. So those are the players that have been released. It doesn't stop there. We've got trouble with a former club that has played a large role on this channel, because I immediately assumed when I saw what was happening that they'd come up to the top tier. They haven't. They're just professional and they're stealing all of our players. So you will notice that 2 fairly big names from that list of outs have gone to Bangor City. Joe Stanton, a crucial backup to Charlie Edge, who's always injured, has left for Bangor City. Chris Baker, who was the backup when Pavel Vieira got injured, or, as it was when he got released, has been lost to Bangor City. And then to make matters worse, the young right winger Hao Chi Hin, who was going to start this game, was then let go on a free to Aberystwyth. I am so angry. We've lost 6 or 7 first team squad players and nobody has come in. Not one player has joined the club. It is so frustrating. And after 2 years of things going, I think it would be fair to say, particularly for the last year and a half, a bit too well, we are now getting all of the frustration of the head coach. And I know the director of football might do great work in the next 6 weeks, might get players in late. But it's going to be too late if we go out in this European tie. It will cost us 100, 200 grand for what could have been 35 quid a week to keep us an extra player in the squad. So I'm not the best pleased at the moment. I think that's fair to say. However, let's look at some more potential positives and negatives, because it could yet get worse. Young right back Aaron Summer in the under-19s, really good young prospect, is potentially going off to Carnarvon, who have come back up to the top tier. Even worse, Jesse Naylor has got contract offers from Cardiff Met Uni and Pennybont. If he goes, I might really throw my toys out the pram, because he's the only backup we've really got in defence. However, there is one small positive when it comes to the ins. Rio Dyer is the third right winger that a bid has gone in for this summer, and he's definitely the best. The problem is, we don't know if we're going to get him. His attributes are phenomenal. He is probably one of the best players we would have ever had in this save. His 4-star ability, both right midfield and right wing, gives us the option to play 2 different shapes depending on what players come into the club too. I would love that signing. However, he's wanted by some National League North clubs, and I don't know, having left Hull City, whether I want to stay up there. We'll wait and see. The ones we missed out on, if I show you TNS, the first club where he tried to loan a player from, Ben Williams, we had an offer rejected for this guy, Ross Rees. Now, the reason he was potentially beneficial is because he could play right wing back as well, but he was unambitious, he wasn't great, and if we've got the choice of him or Dyer, I think we all know who we'll be having. But Ross Rees did reject us. The other player that rejected us, and again, a big part was played by Bangor City, is Lewis Clutton. While yes, I think the director of football was planning to sign him as a right winger, he's a natural centre mid who would have been a great replacement for Vieira, probably a slight upgrade as well. However, he rejected us because Bangor offered him a permanent deal on £275 a week, and we can't compete with second-tier professional sides. So our former Builder Nation club, after all we did for them, are coming back to haunt us in an alternate universe. Not having the best time in real life either, are they? So basically, we are in an awful position. We've got about 12 players signed on, plus youth players, and we're having to rely on some of them to start this game. We're going into what was supposed to be a really exciting occasion. We were going to be playing Drita in the first qualifying round of the Europa Conference. We've not got a chance of going a long way. If we get through to the second round, actually, we already know who we'd be facing. Let me just go and check again. It was Kairat, who are from Kazakhstan. Now, in real life, they're in the Europa Conference group stages. They play on Thursday night on British TV. I've seen a bit of them this year. They're a good side. 2.5-star reputation. A Polish player who is on £6,000 a week is absolutely unbelievable. We're talking sort of League One Championship standard player there. Polish international with 17 caps. So if we get to that game, we're going out. However, this one was a pretty winnable tie. Drita haven't got any real players. The Kosovan League, although they're professional, they're not the biggest, most reputable side. They've only got a 1-star reputation. The players are, I would say, Welsh Premier League standard, basically. Similar to us. They've got a couple of standouts, but most of them are really pretty poor. So there's still a chance we could win this tie, but it's going to be a lot harder than it should have. And our director of football, Ben Williams, he's really let us down here. But we said what we wanted in the recruitment meeting. We said what we wanted contractually, or tried to, and we haven't really got it at all. So let's go and get into this big game. We'll show the first leg for sure. Depending on how it's going, we might get the second leg in as well. But I am really devastated with how that's worked out. We've got Connors Key off to Malta, Cardiff Met Uni hosting Shamrock Rovers. So we probably have got the best tie on paper, but we haven't got the strongest squad now. And equally, I don't know where we'd be expected to finish in the league at the moment. I'm sure we will have a few players in before we get to the start of the season. But we've stayed in 5th place there. Bala have overtaken us again, and we're level with Haverfordwest and Aberystwyth. So clearly the media don't think our squad's got stronger. But let me go and pick this 11 because I've had to research the under-19s. I think I've gone for the strongest I can. But we'll double check it and we'll be back in a moment to confirm the lineup. And you're going to have to get used to seeing that youth icon because it's going to be the information screen for a lot of these players. Well, on the youth subject, we have got one in Ian Reese in the lineup. Naylor, David Evans, Gwindo and Nathan Nichols all on the bench with it. It is an incredibly young side, but most of the first 11 is pretty good. The two that did get new deals that we were worried about last season are Jake Cassidy and Yolani Bio. We'll ignore the fact that Bio's been paid tons more than everyone else and isn't going to be good enough to start. We'll just get on with it for now because at the moment we need him to be first team, we need him to be happy and we need him to get fit. The rest of the team is pretty much what we had last year. The same back 5. Malone is still there, but obviously will now become the playmaker. Edge is still out on the left wing with the set pieces. And the front two are fairly familiar. It's not Roberto and Roberts, but it's pretty close. So what that means for today, with the same tactic at the moment, because we don't really have any choice with the players we've got, is Ben Coley in goal, Lewis and Beaters the fullback with Lever and Edwards at centre-half. Edwards retired from professional football just out of curiosity. Reese making his debut on the right, has not really improved yet, but is a pretty decent player. and Edge are the two wingers in this one. Malone and Bio in the middle, Roberts and Cassidy up front, and then a host of youngsters plus Mar, a keeper, and Luke Cooper on the bench. It's not great, it's not strong, but it's what we've got to work with. And in a very winnable Europa Conference tie, we've got to try and get the best out of them. Because I still feel if we can keep this 11 fit, we've got a good chance of getting through this one. Let's go and see if we can, and add a little bit more money to the Cefn Druids coffers. Well, here we go. The staff suggesting that it's going to be a narrow 4-2-3-1 for Drita, which suits our wing play a little bit. We play more direct, we play wide. It's just whether Reece can deliver on his debut. It's a massive gain for him. He didn't even have a squad number before this. So we're going to tell the lads we want to be impressed. We're not going to go positive or really out of the blocks too quickly. We're going to try and stay in the game, because I'd like a clean sheet for the second leg ideally. But at the moment, it's a pretty big one for us. It's a big game at the racecourse. There's not many fans there at all. Not the most reputable game, but it is history for Cefn Druids. So let's see if they can deliver on the big stage. Well, only 6 minutes on the clock, and we've got an attacking throw on the right-hand side. Lewis plays a 1-2 with Reece, and the cross is cleared away. Balls for Edwards, who can get it up to Bio. He finds Malone. Back to Peters again. Can he get forward? Gives it to Charlie Edge. Known for his delivery in this save so far, but not able to put it in that time. It's back to Malone. Be interesting to see how he does as the playmaker. The keeper comes and punches there. Really good work from the Drita number one. Bio gets it wide to Ian Reece. Delivers something on debut into Nick Roberts. Heads it just over the bar, but a decent start. We're fairly happy with that. We just need to try and get the early goal. Interestingly, in the summer, when all of this was disintegrating, I did try and apply for a few sort of mediocre jobs. So I went for a couple of local ones again, even as low as St Albans, who finished bottom half of the National League South. We didn't even get shortlisted. So we're here with Cefn Druids for the year. We've got to try and make it count, as Ian Reece has just had the best chance of the match. Blocked off the line, it's cleared away, but we're definitely on the front foot as Peters finds Malone. Edge to Roberts, who heads just wide. Another chance goes begging. 15 gone. We're dominant, but not hitting the target. And with 20 minutes gone, it is Cefn Druids on the attack again. Malone going for an early cross this time. Headed away as far as Kane Lewis, who's marauding down the right wing. Gets it inside to Bio, to Reece. Crosses in towards Charlie Edge. Off the line, it's a great save by the keeper. Tips it onto the woodwork. How are we not ahead? We're not having possession, so I'm going to go positive, because we've got to get this lot back pending their own half. But if we can't get a goal out of this, it'd be criminal. We need Nick Roberts in form. We need Cassidy to step up. Because at half-time, we've dominated the game. Drita have no attacking threat. They're playing for a 0-0. But at the moment, they're getting it. We've had 28% possession and all of the chances, but no goal to show for it. Let's get up the lads at half-time. We've got to tell them they're doing well. We've got to get them up for it. Now, can they deliver in the second half? Fingers crossed. We've got an early throw with Peters. Right down by the corner flag to Malone. Back to the left back. Bio knocks it back. Kane Lewis. Oh, the offside flag's up. Who was in the line of the ball? Was it Roberts? Oh, that's so frustrating. The unlikely source just went for it. But it didn't count. And unfortunately, it stays goalless. The hour mark. This is going to be so frustrating. We can only hope they open up a bit more at home and we get the chance to counter them. Because here, I don't know how we're not ahead. As Gega's got a goal kick. Big long ball forward. This is when we need Cody Roberto in the box. The 6'3" target man. Don't you dare. Cody makes a save. We let them in for their first chance. And after all of that, if we lose on the night, it'll be crushing. As Reece gets down the right wing again. He's had a decent debut, actually. Back to Kane Lewis. Chance to cross, but finds Reece again at the byline. Chance to deliver. Goes back to Malone. He's got two in the middle. Finds Jelani Bio. Blocked to Cassidy. His shot's blocked to Edge, who misses the open goal. Just wide of the post. Tried to place it too much. And with 25 to go, I've got to make a change because we have to score in this match. Let's take off Nick Cassidy. He's not having the best game. I'm going for Christian Marr. He's a proper poacher. Roberts will switch roles and we're just going to go for it. In the middle, Jelani Bio's not been great. Neither's Lewis at right back. So I tell you what, Bio to right back doesn't really change the quality. Malone back to his box-to-box role because he's got the quality in the box. And Guindo, the youngster, will come on as the playmaker. 2 changes for now. There's 1 more left in the locker. But at the moment, we need something magic from somewhere. 19 shots, 9 on target, nearly 2 on the expected goals front. We've not taken it. And it's going to finish 0-0, isn't it? I'm going to drop Charlie Edge to left back in the final push. Bring on Dave Evans, the young left winger. And now we're just going all out. We've got 2 young wingers on with speed. We've got 2 fullbacks who are naturally midfielders. But it is not making a difference. We have utterly dominated Drita. It still bodes well for the second leg. But somehow it's 0-0 and they've got a free kick in the 90th minute. Don't you dare. Good save from Coley. We've still looked susceptible to a couple of attacks we've conceded. And Coley goes for the big kick. Wouldn't mind a counter here. Perfectly picks out Nick Roberts. Back to Evans. Down the left wing he goes. It's the difference not having senior pros on the bench, isn't it? Evans delivers though off the line. Oh, why can't we break through? Lever brings it forward. He's just surging down the left. The centre half's not even being closed down. Gives it to Charlie Edge. Inside to Evans. Crosses towards Malone. There it is. 91st minute. Lift off for Cefn Druids in Europe. How on earth did it take that long? It doesn't matter now. Charlie Edge and Dave Evans link up on the left and Malone puts the goal in. But now they're straight down the other end. Malone wins it back. Can we nick 2 in stoppage time? Will they open up now they've let in the goal? Mar tries to flick on. He can't get there. Roberts will chase it wide. But we're in a position now where we cannot concede. And if Drita are this poor and this defensive in the second leg, surely we're going to get through. Long ball's cleared away. But we don't want to open up at the back. There's still 90 seconds left here. Do not do anything silly. This is a back 5 we trust. And we need it to do well. As it works its way into midfield for the visitors. To Mercelli. Gets it wide. And now they can work down the left. Hamiti cuts it in. This is where we're in trouble. Good challenge from the youngster Reese. Good debut he's had. Mar finds Roberts. Out to Malone. Looks a different player in that box-to-box role. Finds Christian Mar. Hits the post. And the rebound is in with Nick Roberts. It is 2-0 Cefn Druids. 2 second half stoppage time goals. And it does not matter how weak we are in midfield. Malone has to be the box-to-box midfielder. Look at the difference it made. One where he gets in the box himself. He's everywhere in the middle of the pitch. And you know what? We really deserved that. We were absolutely fantastic. I know it came late. And I know that Drita maybe just ran out of steam. Which they shouldn't as the professional side. But I am thoroughly delighted for these boys. Because they're a threadbare squad. There's nothing else behind them to choose. And they've delivered. We're going to tell the lads we're really pleased with that. Who cares about possession? We peppered the box with crosses. And we finally got our advantage. And look at Connor's Key. 6-1 win in Malta for them. I know that Cardiff Met Uni lost. Where was this at the start of our Build a Nation last year with Bangor? Where on earth was it? In that save last year, those who were following will know why I'm so frustrated. Every team, every year at the start, losing in the first qualifiers. TNS are going massive again in this window. They're signing young players. They're signing big stars. And as a side at the top of the division, they're going to be even harder to catch. They're nicking the best players from other clubs as well. I just feel that TNS are going to be an unstoppable force. Though if we can get through this round in Europe, surely it helps our reputation. We can't get a coaching badge at the minute. I'm not sure why Cefn Druids won't let us do so. Maybe they just feel they need more training support in the club. But we're down to the stage where we've got greyed out players in the senior squad. Jacob Lever's wanted now as well by Welling in England. He's an Englishman, he's 30 years of age. I hope that isn't appealing to him because we could be in big trouble if he leaves the club too. But that was the first leg done. I think we're going to win the second leg, but we'll be back for it anyway. The next episode will be Drita away and hopefully the first leg of the second qualifying round. I'm going to cancel that friendly against Halesowen because we need everyone possible fit. We've not got a big squad to get match fitness into now. That is the one that really matters. A disastrous summer in a transfer window. So far, it could well change if Dyer comes in, and then a few more back that up. An almost bitter disappointment in the Europa Conference Qualifier. But we get the win, and if we get through, that's more money and more coefficient points into this football club. Surely someone's got to stand up and take notice of our achievements now. If you want to find out if they do, whether the director of football can salvage the window and if we can get through in Europe, please do put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. For the rest of this week, as we're still on the beta schedule, there'll be daily episodes at 3:30 from this series, at 11:30 every morning for Hemel Hempstead. And then next week, the 2 long-term stories rotate every day at 3:30, with regular live streams on Twitch, which you can find in the eye above, and much, much more as well. FM Mobile coming next week too, there'll be a bit from that. So please do keep your eyes peeled and have those notifications on. I do have to say quickly, this is the first head coach episode I'm recording since we passed 3,000 subscribers. An incredible increase on the channel, and your support has been fantastic since FM22 came out, so thank you so much for that. Unfortunately, Ben Williams is trying to spoil the party. He's trying to get me in a downbeat mood, but the 11 that we have got left have done really well. And now all we need is a few signings. We can get Dyer in ready for the second qualifier, presuming we make it, and then start to get a few gaps in the squad filled. I still think this can be a good season, and maybe the one where we get our big break. Will we get it? Will Ben Williams deliver? I'll see you next time to find out. Thanks for watching.